the luscious leek. Today we're going to talk about leek. But we're not only just going to talk about the leek, we're actually going to use our knife and learn a couple of knife skills. Many people ask, you know, how do you chop it so fine, or how do you do this and how do you do that? The key to chopping and using a knife correctly is good knife skills, and they're not difficult. They can be something everybody can learn. So what you need to understand is the type of knife you've got. Obviously, if it's a good knife, then it's going to do a good job. But most knives that we have in the kitchen, you know, are average, some are really good, and what we can do is actually learn how to use those. So what I want you to think about is when you're cutting, you actually don't need to move this. So you're actually going to start a cutting motion like this. So like this, where you're actually not moving it off the board. And I'll show you in a minute why we do that. And the other reason that we do that is, I guess, is to avoid cutting yourself. And today in the class, always the first few weeks, someone cuts themselves, and it's because learning knife skills becomes such an important part. So I'm going to use my knife like this, and I just pulled it like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use this part of my finger to save myself from being cut. So you'll notice here, I'm actually not moving the knife off the board. What I'm doing is I'm actually using my fingers as a guide. Now there is no way that those fingers can be cut. If you look very carefully, that knife is not actually going near my fingers. They're using the knuckle to actually support the knife. So that's just a really simple knife skill. And when you've finished with the knife, don't wipe the knife like this with your hands because you've got a blade. Always go from the back of the knife and just push it off. Put the knife down and face it away. That way, if you go to move these over here like that, you're not going to get the blade. Okay, you'll get the back of the knife and it's safer. So, happy cutting.